Chapter 1. Most overseas audiences tend to group the Spring and Autumn period and the Warring States period together. They simply regard them as a single chaotic age filled with ancient Chinese wars. The Spring and Autumn period was still restrained by ancient rituals. States restrained each other through diplomatic alliances and balance of power. Wars at that time aimed mostly at boosting prestige and making opponents surrender. By contrast, the Warring States period threw off all ritual shackles entirely. The goal of warfare transformed from demonstrating hegemony to complete annexation of neighboring states. Two landmark historical events marked the official beginning of the Warring States period. They were the partition of Jin and the Tian clan's usurpation of the Qi throne. The old aristocratic ritual system completely lost its binding power over nobles and kingdoms. Every feudal state had to implement systemic reforms to survive fierce competition. The widespread use of iron tools appeared across the land. Universal military conscription systems were established in each state. Vertical and horizontal diplomatic alliances prevailed among warring kingdoms. Legalist thoughts of centralized governance gradually became mainstream state policy. This video combines unearthed cultural artifacts and authoritative historical documents. It sorts out three core historical questions for audiences. Why did the powerful state of Jin split into three separate kingdoms and thoroughly remodel the geopolitical pattern of ancient China? All 7 major warring states carried out political reforms, but only Qing's reform maintained a long-term effectiveness and finally conquered the other 6 states. What lies behind this fundamental gap? Centuries of cruel annexation wars swept the land. Did this turbulent age bring nothing but endless bloodshed? Or did it forge essential conditions for the birth of China's first unified, centralized empire? During the Spring and Autumn period, kingdoms competed for hegemony under ritual restrictions. During the Warring States period, kingdoms conquered and wiped out rivals with all rituals abandoned. Institutional competition replaced moral restraints and ritual balance, becoming the core mainstream trend of this violent era. Chapter 2. Partition of Jin and Tian's usurpation of Qi. 475 BCE marks the official beginning of the Warring States period. Toward the late stage of the Spring and Autumn period, 6 hereditary noble clans grasped all military and political authority within the state of Jin. These clans launched successive internal wars to annex one another. The Fan clan and Zhonghang clan were eliminated in the early conflicts. Only 4 clans remained standing: Zhi, Zhao, Wei, and Han. The dominant Zhi clan forced Han and Wei to lay siege to Jinyang, the core city of Zhao. The Zhao clan appealed to Han and Wei with the truth of their common vulnerable destiny. The 3 clans formed a temporary alliance and wiped out the Z forces entirely. In 403 BCE, the declining Zhou royal court legally acknowledged Jiao, Wei, and Han as official feudal states. The time-honored state of Jin perished thoroughly. This historic incident is known to later generations as the partition of Jin. 3 brand new powerful kingdoms rose up across the Central Plains. The original hegemony order shaped in the Spring and Autumn period was thoroughly shattered. Meanwhile, inside the state of Qi, the Tian clan gathered popular goodwill over dozens of generations. They gradually hollowed out the ruling Jiang royal family. They purged the local native aristocrats in a gradual, methodical manner. In 386 BCE, Tianhe obtained formal investiture as Marquis of Qi with the Zhou court's sanction. The Tian bloodline replaced the ancient Jiang clan as the new ruler of Qi. This major transition is recorded as the Tian clan's usurpation of Qi. These two milestone incidents signaled the total breakdown of the Western Zhou hereditary aristocratic system. Former court ministers seized monarchical power, and their seizure was even legitimized by the Zhou royal house. The millennium-old ritual code lost all binding force once and for all. Every state cast aside superficial moral restraints without hesitation. Boosting comprehensive national strength became the only survival law for each regime. High-ranking noble families seized national sovereignty with the emperor's formal approval. The hollow ritual framework collapsed entirely, lifting the curtain on the ruthless, all-out annexation wars of the Warring States era. Chapter 3. Geopolitical Map and Early National Strength Comparison. 7 powerful kingdoms stood firm as the dominant forces of the Warring States period. They were Qin, Chu, Qi, Yan, Zhao, Wei, and Han. Wei seized the fertile lands of the Central Plains. It inherited Jin's core civilization and complete military manufacturing system. It launched the first round of nationwide political reforms. Wei therefore seized supremacy over the Central Plains in the early Warring States period. Han was situated right in the middle of rival kingdoms. Encircled on all sides, it could only sustain its survival by virtue of sophisticated iron smelting techniques. Zhao owned expansive northern grasslands and abundant cavalry resources. Local people were known for bold and valiant traditions. For hundreds of years, Zhao guarded the northern frontier against nomadic invaders. Qi controlled the whole Shandong Peninsula. It thrived greatly through sea salt trading business, forming a sound commercial economy. Chu stretched across vast lands alongside the Yangtze River basin. It boasted the largest territory and population among the 7 warring states. Nevertheless, scattered aristocratic fiefdoms split national power badly, gravely undermining the central government's governing capacity. Yan was a feeble northern frontier kingdom. It stayed far away from the core battlefields of the Central Plains. It remained a marginal force through most of the Warring States' time. Qin was based in the Guanzhong area of the northwest. The Central Plains states once dismissed Qin as an uncivilized remote territory in early years. But layers of natural mountain passes built an impregnable natural defense line for Qin. Small states such as Lu, Song, and Wei merely acted as buffer lands between great powers. They were seized and swallowed, one after another, with no possibility of revival. During this identical historical time frame, Greek city-states went into decline, while Macedon gradually rose in Europe. Major kingdoms across ancient India were gradually incorporated into unified imperial regimes. Meanwhile, China stepped into an age of brutal, full-scale confrontations between sovereign states. Wei held regional hegemony in the early stage, and Chu possessed unmatched territorial breadth. The 6 eastern kingdoms each possessed unique strengths, yet were plagued by inherent internal flaws. In contrast, Qin was blessed with innate geographic defensive advantages that could not be easily broken. Chapter 4. National Reform Wave. Li Kui's reform in Wei Wuqi's reform in Chu Shangyang's reform in Qin. Survival pressure pushed all vassal states to carry out institutional reforms. Nearly all reform movements took legalist thought as their core theoretical support. Li Kui's reform in Wei. Li Kui compiled the Canon of Laws, the first systematic written statutory code in Chinese history. He revoked hereditary privileges enjoyed by old aristocratic clans. He issued policies to stimulate grain and agricultural output. He formed a powerful elite standing army known as Wei's heavy infantry. These measures helped Wei seize hegemony in the early Warring States period. Even so, this reform only optimized military and economic mechanisms. It failed to uproot the deeply entrenched aristocratic vested interests. Once the supportive monarch passed away, Wei's national strength faded rapidly. Wu Qi's reform in Chu. Wu Qi streamlined redundant official posts inside the Chu court. He reduced unnecessary stipends for hereditary nobles. He unified military regulations and battlefield discipline, markedly improving the combat capacity of Chu's troops. With boosted military strength, Chu subdued the Baiyue tribes in the south. It also effectively contained the offensive from the three Jin states in the northern frontier. Wu Qi's reforms severely damaged the core benefits of Chu's traditional nobles. Shortly after the death of King Dao of Chu, Wu Qi was assassinated by noble factions. Most reform decrees were abolished afterwards, leaving no long-term effective system. Xiangyang's two-stage reforms in Qin, 356 BCE and 350 BCE. He abolished the ancient well-field system and legally acknowledged private land ownership. He replaced hereditary official appointments with a rank system based solely on military exploits. He unified national weights and measures across Qin territory. He split extended big clans to perfect household census and grassroots administration. He relocated the national capital to Shenyang to reinforce central imperial power. Qin's harsh legal codes restrained royal family members and ordinary nobles equally, without exception. Even though Xiangyang was executed amid the aristocratic retaliation, all institutional achievements of his reform were completely preserved and enforced by subsequent Qing kings. The essential dividing line, reforms implemented by the six eastern kingdoms, were highly dependent on enlightened individual monarchs. They would collapse immediately once the sponsoring ruler died. Xiangyang constructed a complete, self-operating, legal, and institutional framework. Institutions governed the nation instead of personal will. This is the essential root of Qin's continuous and stable national growth. The reforms of the six states waxed and waned, along with single monarchs' lifespans. Xiangyang founded a state administration built upon law and systematic institutions, forging the core institutional foundation for Qin's eventual unification of China. Chapter 5. Vertical alliance against Qin versus horizontal alliance serving Qin. Qin's national strength kept growing year after year. It brought sustained geopolitical pressure to the six eastern kingdoms. Against this backdrop, the school of diplomacy came into being. Su Qing advocated and constructed the vertical alliance. He linked the six kingdoms from north to south in a vertical line. The core goal was to block Qing's eastward expansion from the west. Zhang Yi took office as an official of Qin and pushed forward the horizontal alliance. He persuaded Qin's adjacent vassals to submit to Qin one by one. His strategy successfully tore apart the joint defensive vertical coalition. All diplomatic choices changed flexibly according to national interests. Broken treaties and political betrayal occurred frequently in this era. A series of decisive battles rewrote the destiny of each kingdom. General Baiqi annihilated the main troops of Han and Wei in the Battle of Yik. The Battle of Yanying let Qin seize Chu's capital city directly. From then on, Chu stepped into an irreversible downward spiral. In the Battle of Changping, Baiqi wiped out Zhao's surrendered main army. Zhao lost its elite military strength permanently. No single eastern kingdom still possessed the strength to resist Qin on the battlefield independently. The joint defense system of the six states fully crumbled after Changping campaign. The general historical trend of Qing's unification could no longer be reversed. The remaining kingdoms could only prolong their existence by relying on shaky, temporary alliances. Various diplomatic schemes could only postpone the fall of these regimes for a short time. Large-scale annihilation-style wars exhausted the military power of the 6 eastern states completely. The final unification of the whole land had become an unavoidable historical destiny. Chapter 6. Emperor Qin Shi Huang conquered 6 states and founded China's first centralized empire, 221 BCE. After the Battle of Changping, successive Qing monarchs accumulated solid national strength. After Yingzheng ascended the throne, relying on inherited legal institutions and assisted by Li Si, Wang Jian, and other ministers and generals, he launched the full-scale Unification War. Qing conquered Han in 230 BCE and subdued the 6 eastern states in the order of Han, Zhao, Wei, Chu, Yan, and Qi. Qi surrendered without combat in 221 BCE, marking the end of the Warring States period. Yingzheng adopted the title First Emperor, Qin Shi Huang. He implemented the prefecture-county system nationwide to abolish the ancient infaufment system permanently, unified writing scripts, currency, carriage tracks, and national laws, build national highway networks and the Great Wall to defend against northern nomadic tribes. Centuries of divided infaufment governance, dating back to Western Zhou, came to an end. China established its first multi-ethnic, centralized empire with unified territory, institutions, writing, and laws. Centuries of brutal conflicts in the warring states were not merely historical disasters. This era eliminated backward aristocratic infaufment systems and selected the centralized governance model most suitable for ancient agricultural civilization through fierce competition, setting the basic institutional template for Chinese imperial dynasties over the next 2,000 years. Wars tempered mature centralized governance systems, and turbulent eras ended with nationwide unification. All sacrifices amid chaos forged the inherent gene of long-term unity within Chinese civilization. Chapter 7. Most ordinary people simply label the Warring States period as a dark age. They think this era only consisted of slaughters, social chaos, and cruel monarchs. From an objective historical viewpoint, the Warring States accomplished 4 irreplaceable historical missions. They are institutional screening, technological progress, ideological flourishing, and territorial integration. Numerous schools of thought took shape amid social unrest. Legalism, Confucianism, Mohism, and Taoism polished their mature theoretical systems. Together, they build the everlasting spiritual skeleton of the Chinese nation. The Warring States left 2 everlasting historical heritages for later generations. First, the centralized prefecture and county system turned into the basic governing framework adopted by every following dynasty. Second, unified written characters and unified measurement units broke regional cultural barriers. This fundamental change made long-term national split almost impossible in later ages. 2 interactive discussion topics. Casual audience topic. Tough and severe laws from Shangyang greatly boosted Qing's national power. In your opinion, were harsh laws a necessary foundation for national prosperity? Or did these strict regulations plant hidden dangers leading to the short-lived Qin dynasty? Professional history topic. Baiqi ordered the execution of numerous Zhao captives in the Battle of Changping. If we take Warring States' military customs and army food shortages into full consideration, was this extreme choice rational under the specific historical background? In our previous video, we talked about ritual collapse and hegemonic struggles in the spring and autumn period. Today, we have fully sorted out the whole unification process of the Warring States era. Our next video will interpret the rise and fall of the unified Qing and Han empires. Subscribe to our channel for the complete chronological Chinese history series, covering pre-Qin all the way to Qin and Han dynasties.